You want to get really clear on what's my intention. Because as soon as you get clear on what it is you want, there's a little thing in your head called a reticular activating system that basically goes out and seeks what you need to have to get the answer to that question. But you need to be really clear about what you ask it to do. And this reticular activating system, have any of you ever bought a new car? So before you decide what make of car you're going to buy, you would go out into the world and not really notice much. As soon as you make a decision that you're going to buy, I don't know, whatever it might be, BMW or Volvo, you see that make of car absolutely everywhere. Has anyone ever experienced that? Yeah. That's basically your reticular activating system clicking into going, right, you need to start paying attention to this because it's important. So when you get really clear on your intention, what you want to have or achieve, you'll start noticing things you hadn't noticed before. So you might go into a shop and notice a magazine which basically holds the exact bit of information that you need. Or like me, you're in a garden centre and you get pulled to a book, even though garden centres had books, and you pick up that book and open up the page, and on that page is exactly what you need in answer to your question. Or you might bump into somebody, or you might get a CV of the perfect candidate literally land on your desk 24 hours later from what you'd asked for. So you want to be really clear about what's your intention. What do you want to leave behind? So this is what I'm talking about. It's all the crap that you've been pulling around, perhaps the frustration, the things not working, the not having enough time. What's the stuff that you want to leave behind forever? And there's certain traits that top achievers have, and one of them is that we've got to be constantly learning and progressing, because if we're not learning and progressing, we get bored. And so just know that you've just reached a point where actually you're ready for the next step. Now, and certainly when I went through this, going from just purely bill, I love billing, but also, if I'm being totally honest, it was definitely an ego-driven thing, because people going, oh, you're so amazing. Actually, in order to build a business, a multi-million-pound business, I needed to become a different person. I needed to become a business builder. Now that journey in between that for 12 to 18 months was very uncomfortable, because it pushed me outside of my comfort zone, because I felt I didn't have control over the outcome. So just be willing to step out. And imagine this is your comfort zone, and this is where you're stuck at the minute, but you're frustrated because you're stagnant. What we're going to ask you to do is we want you to step outside your comfort zone, but not totally out of your comfort zone that it totally freaks you out. We want you to go about 4% outside your comfort zone. So every day you do something that's about 4% out of your comfort zone, and you will then start to see shifts. If you go any more than that, then literally your unconscious mind goes shut down. You're going to lose all your money, and that means you can't pay your mortgage and food and anything like that. All I would just ask you to do is just start to the word I was going to say, sort of surrender, and actually surrender to something that's so amazing outside your comfort zone that you could not ever totally conceive it at the minute.
Because the thing is, fear is actually, welcome the fear, because that is actually a tool to use and a very positive. So if we push against something, it becomes our enemy. When we welcome it, then it becomes it's like our secret weapon. And fear is only false evidence appearing real. It's not actual reality. But welcome that, because that's, your mind saying, hold on a second, maybe we need to think about this, maybe we need to just be careful, make sure it's right for me. Welcome that, breathe into it, and then say, right, okay, so actually what's the positive intent of that fear, and how can I use that to my best advantage?
And then it's a matter of just following the steps, and that's the thing, is like literally, we say, right, do this, like literally the steps for you to follow. You just complete those steps. And as long as you implement them, you'll get the results. If you don't implement them or cut corners, then that's where things become unpicked. But that's okay as well. Because you can't build a really strong building based on sand. You've got to have strong foundations. So there's no point pouring more stuff into a leaky bucket, because otherwise it just keeps leaking. So we want to get your buckets that's really solid before you then scale, and then bam. The top achiever that, always learning and progressing, if you're not doing that and you're going back to the same old, you can see why you're getting a bit tired. And also if you're, I think you can do 12, 14-hour days for about a year and a half properly. Times that, or fast forward that 9, 10 years down the line, it's like, like what are we doing? There's so many easier ways to do it and to achieve so much more, but in balance. And so, yeah, we would totally be able to show you how to do that. And the only reason why we are experts at it is because we have been there and done it, got the T-shirts of the hard graft, and then luckily been able to see the light at the other end. And don't get me wrong, we're not perfect at all. Like, we still go through all sorts of issues on a daily basis, but the way we approach those now is totally different. And just know that it's just the next challenge. I've got a thing in my diary that I carry around with me, and this is a question I would be encouraging you to just put in your notebooks and ponder on it. So, what if the biggest challenge in front of you is the greatest gift to move to the next level? So, what if the biggest challenge in front of you is the greatest gift to move to the next level? So what if the biggest challenge in front of you is the greatest gift to move to the next level? So it's a bit like the universe nudging you, right, time to get out of this comfort zone. And if you're not going to do it, I'm going to do it for you, and I'm going to, and excuse my language, I'm going to send you a fucking load of shit stuff that make it so uncomfortable that you then need to pay attention. And I'll either do that by making you ill, or I'll do that by losing a big client, or I'll do that by messing up your IT system so everything crashes. But it's time now to move to that next level. So that's what's on offer here. And I promise you, like, imagine everything you could ever possibly totally want in your entire life is behind these doors. All you've got to do is go, right, I'm willing to open those doors. I'm willing to let it flow in. The only thing that's stopping you from having that now is what's going on in your noggin. So, and what the words that we use with each other, the words that we use with ourselves, how we think, how we feel, what we do. So, we're just going to go, right, and it's, like I would use it, it's like, this is enough. And I certainly, with my recruitment business, I was just like, life has got to be best, like there's more fun to be had, there's got to be more to life than just this. But that then will take you on a journey that you would never have imagined had you not been in that place.
If you like, your passion, your reason why, you lose alignment with it. And what happens then is you get so enthralled with what are the steps that I need to take, or the plan itself, that actually what happens is you disconnect from that passion, that fire inside, which links to your why, which links to your vision. And then what happens is it just becomes something that doesn't interest us, or it doesn't excite us. And that's when things start to then feel hard, because actually we don't get that passion to push ourselves out of bed every morning. Because when you're doing something that you love, do you get that energy? Do you feel infused, even if you know it's going to be a bit challenging? Yeah, you do. But then when that energy isn't there, because actually it's a task that I don't enjoy so much, that's when it's more difficult, isn't it? And then it feels like I've got more and more of these things happening in my day, and I'm not enjoying them.